Few have fallen as far or as hard as former NFL star Aaron Hernandez. The hands that caught so many touchdown passes in handcuffs today as he was led into court, charged with the brutal murder of his friend Odin Lloyd. But how had two men from such different worlds even met? And how are they united by the two women in their lives? ABC's John Schriffen brings us the report for our series Crime and Punishment.
Aaron Hernandez practicing with his former team, the New England Patriots. Odin Lloyd's teammates practicing with the semi-pro Boston Bandits. Similar plays, similar moves. But come game day, Hernandez and the Patriots were cheered on at Gillette Stadium by almost 70,000 fans. The Bandits?
You can get maybe 200. You got a big game. Hopefully you get 300.
The biggest amount you're going to see in the stands, 300 people.
Yeah, I would say.
They were two men from two vastly different universes. Hernandez had recently signed a new mouth-watering contract worth $40 million. Odin Lloyd?
These guys out here, how much do they make per game?
No one. For the love of the game.
They don't make any money.
They don't make no money.
But according to Lloyd's coach, Mike Branch, and others, somehow Hernandez and Lloyd had formed an unlikely relationship, united by the women in their lives. This is Hernandez's fiancée, escorted out of court by his defense team. Lloyd dated her sister. Friends say the two men would often hang out, sometimes even talk football. But prosecutors say something went wrong, shifting their bond from cordial to fatal.
That breaking news, an arrest warrant has been issued this morning for Aaron Hernandez.
The whole world was watching as the 23-year-old former tight end for the New England Patriots was charged with murder, allegedly orchestrating the execution-style killing of his friend. How did it all go so spectacularly wrong? Aaron Hernandez was raised in a marginal neighborhood in Bristol, Connecticut, and he had his share of heartache.
His father died when he was 16.
And that was very, very tough for him at the age that it happened, and had a little bit of a tough upbringing, both because of that and even before that.
But Hernandez had one gift that made everything better.
Football was something that he really loved. I think it gave him a little bit of a reprieve from maybe some of the other everyday challenges of life. When he was around football, he could forget. Even
in high school, it was clear he had an unusual talent, and he started getting calls from colleges, eventually getting recruited by the University of Florida. A bright future stretched before him if he could only keep his demons at bay.
He himself said that he had a history of getting into trouble.
Before he played a single game, his career was almost sidelined forever.
Well, there are reports that Aaron Hernandez had an altercation at a bar called The Swamp.
A police report from that 2007 incident surfaced recently. Hernandez had gotten into a fight with the bar manager over 2 drinks Hernandez maintained he hadn't ordered. Guess who tried to come to his aid? According to the police report, squeaky clean college teammate Tim Tebow offered to pay for the drinks. Instead, according to authorities, Hernandez punched the manager so hard his eardrum burst.
He could have been kicked off the team, and he wasn't.
Hernandez was never charged with the assault. Growing up in Boston, Odin Lloyd also excelled at football, but didn't get special treatment, according to his coach.
How talented was he coming out of high school?
Very talented.
Didn't apply himself, or what happened?
I would say possibly not applying himself. And ladies, Odin liked ladies.
His teammate Darryl Hodge says Lloyd never went to college. He drifted into semi-pro football and odd-end jobs, including his most recent as a landscaper.
Did Odin still have dreams of playing in the NFL one day?
You could say giving up, but it's more of you become realistic with yourself.
Meanwhile, at the University of Florida, Hernandez was excelling on the field with 111 receptions and 12 touchdowns. But off the field, there were rumors. Take a look at this personality test from a scouting report obtained by the Wall Street Journal. It said Hernandez enjoyed, quote, living on the edge of acceptable behavior, and cautioned that he could become a problem for his team. He was a major talent, but as he approached the NFL draft in 2010, real questions were being raised.
How did Hernandez's past impact his draft stock?
Significantly. This was a player that most would agree had first-round talent, maybe second-round talent, slipped to the 4th round.
But in the end, he was still one of the oh-so-lucky few chosen by the New England Patriots to play in the NFL. He seemed to have it all, including a relationship with beautiful Cheyenne Jenkins, a girl he'd met in high school. And that's how Odin Lloyd and Aaron Hernandez finally met, because it turned out Lloyd was dating Jenkins' sister.
If it's two friends and they're dating the sisters, you casually see each other. If you're at a barbecue or you're at a housewarming or whatever the case may be, you're over with the family, family's having a cookout, you're going to see each other on the pass-me by. So that's what we thought it was. That's what we felt it was.
But no matter how casually it started, and no matter how unlikely, friends say Odin Lloyd and Aaron Hernandez actually met up and hung out even when the women weren't around. They also shared a common upbringing, growing up in poor, tough neighborhoods.
I think that's probably why I was an easier match for both of them to rise and not be in situations of jail or incarceration, is credit to both of them.
That difficult neighborhood was a reality Lloyd still had to deal with every day. With no money for a car, he would bicycle the 20 miles to the Bandits games.
You know he's dedicated when you see him coming around the corner with his shoulder pads and his helmet on the steering wheel of his bike.
And there were times this talented linebacker couldn't afford a uniform.
So he was wearing a jersey with somebody else's name.
Yeah, a couple games he did, yes.
Did you ever wonder why Odin was hanging out with an NFL player? The two, a semi-pro guy and now this NFL player. Did it seem strange?
No, I think some guys like myself was envious of it. Who doesn't want to hang with an NFL player?
But somehow this unequal relationship was about to come unraveled. On Friday, June the 14th, police say Hernandez and Lloyd were at this nightclub when a dispute broke out.
Prosecutors say that there was some kind of an argument the Friday night before, that Hernandez was upset that Lloyd was talking to a group of people. Did he ever discuss that to you?
No, but he had said that they went on Friday and they had a good time. He didn't present anything about any argument, anything like that.
I don't think he thought there was anything wrong. I don't think he felt it was a fight.
A day later, Lloyd surprised his teammates by showing up for practice without his bicycle.
And I see a black SUV pull up, I'm just looking at who's in the car, and I see him, I'm like, Odin, whose car is that? And first comment, coach.
Now, when he said, who was it referring to?
Mr. Hernandez.
Daryl Hodge, Lloyd's friend and teammate, saw him for the last time Sunday night.
You were with him just hours before he was murdered.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do?
Hang out. It was a typical Sunday.
What time did you drop him off?
He dropped me off. He had a text from his manager saying that he had work the next day. So he had made a decision to go home. He told me, all right, I'm going to go home.
So prosecutors say he got in the car with Hernandez at 2:30 in the morning. If he had work the next day, what was he doing?
I don't know. That's the question.
Prosecutors have not publicly discussed motive, but documents they've released reveal 2 points they are investigating further. Hernandez's fiancée, Jenkins, told police she suspected Lloyd was a marijuana dealer. And police recovered in a safe in Hernandez's house a scale, police say, the kind used to weigh drugs. But Lloyd's coach is adamant Lloyd had nothing to do with drugs.
He was the drug dealer. You a drug dealer, you ain't riding a bike to practice.
Police are also investigating Hernandez's alleged involvement in a 2012 drive-by shooting in Boston that left 2 people dead. Could Lloyd have been killed because he knew details about the shooting?
I know Odin Lloyd, and I feel I know Odin Lloyd well. Odin Lloyd, he's not a gangbanger. He's petrified of guns himself, because that's not the individual that I know.
In the coming weeks and months, we'll find out whether there was a Lloyd no one knew, or whether it was possibly Hernandez who may have pulled Odin Lloyd back into the rough world they'd both spent their young lives trying to escape. For Nightline, I'm John Schriffen in Boston.